Hello, my dear 10th grade students. As attitudes are contagious, we are going to start this lecture with a positive attitude to get positive results in whatever good work we are going to do. So, students, today we are going to start our next story, The Blue Bead, written by Nora Burke. Students, Nora Burke was a popular novelist and a non-fiction writer from England. She spent her early childhood in India as her father was a forest officer there. So she used to travel through the Indian forests. That's why many of her stories have a description of Indian life and forest life. This story, The Blue Bead, is about a 12-year-old girl, Sibia. But before telling about Sibia, I will like to explain other elements of this story. The story begins with the appearance of a crocodile that was blackish brown from above and yellowy white from beneath, and it was lying motionless in the river water. In that river, children, other than crocodiles, some other great turtles and masir, it is a large edible fish, they also used to live. And that river, it was used to transport timber. Timber was cut from the forests and was being floated down this great Indian river so that the current of the water could forcefully move the logs wherever they intended to be. So children, that crocodile was twice the length of a tall man, and in order to breathe the clean air, it used to raise its eyes and nostrils out of water, and it usually came out to take rest in the glassy shallows among logs and balance there on tiptoe on the ripples, and only why tiptoed? So that its prey could not come to know that it had come out to hunt for it. And that big crocodile used to wait on the sand motionless, waiting for its food to come near, and whenever it used to come near, it snapped at it immediately, so whenever he got a chance. So students, this big crocodile mostly feed on fish, ducks, deer, monkeys, pie dogs, that were full of parasites, skeleton cows, whosoever used to come there to drink water, right? So this crocodile sometimes, it went down to the burning hearts to relish its hunger by eating, even the half-burnt human bodies. So as I told you earlier, that this is the story of a 12-year-old girl, Sibia. This girl, children, belonged to a very poor family. She lived in a village where people, used to lead a very simple life, devoid of all the materialistic pleasures. People of that village, they used to live in mud houses. They used to gather sticks from the forest for firewood and use dung as fuel. And Sibia, she also lived in a mud house with her parents and brothers. Sibia was thin, starveling child. Starveling means poverty-ridden. And she used to dress in earth-colored rags. She had ebony hair. Ebony means pitch black in color. She had great eyes, and her skin was of oiled brown, cream color. And Sibia, she used to do a lot of tasks like husking corn, gathering sticks, making dung cakes, cooking, weeding, fetching water, even cutting grass for fodder. Then Sibia used to get, what she used to get for eating. She used to get a chapati that was wrapped round a green chili and rancid butter. Rancid means a foul smelling butter. She used to walk barefoot and had never owned even 1 anna, means a single coin of money, to buy the things she craved for. So Sibia liked to buy a handful of blown glass beads from the market. She also craved for different colored glass bangles, but she never had any money to buy these things. Whenever she got a chance to visit the market, she used to pause before a sweetmeat stall, just to gaze at the brilliant colorful honey confections, but she never had money to buy them. At home she sometimes tasted wild honey. She also liked to have the syrup crunched out of a stalk of sugarcane. She would love to spend her whole day while standing before a clothes stall. She loved the wonderful smell of its dressing. The other wonders of the market which mesmerized her were satin, silk, then tint rays of Birmingham, then saris, with embroidered borders, of glass borders. And she also liked, a little locked chest she had seen with a Kashmiri merchant. This chest was having turquoises and opals in it, means bluish green gems in it. So students, Sibia always wished to make a bead necklace for herself that would just rattle around her neck. She had collected shiny scarlet seeds, means red colored seeds in the story. They are also called lal beeches. They actually were seeds of the plants which were grown everywhere in the jungle. Some of the village women, they were wearing necklaces made of these seeds, but to make a necklace out of these seeds, Sibia had to drill each of these seeds with a red hot needle, but only needle her family had, it was snapped. Children, the place where that big crocodile used to lie down, beside him in the river glimmered a blue gem. That blue gem was not an actual gem, it was just a sand-worn glass. Actually, it had been rolling about for a long time in the river, but by chance it was perforated, means had got a hole right through it. And this story, a blue bead, is named after this blue gem, which everyone of that village could have craved to possess. So children, the village women were not restricted to look after the households only. They were supposed to go to the cliffs to get paper grass. So this paper grass was taken to the market, where they sold it to an agent to earn some money. So that agent dispatched that paper grass to the paper mills. And one day Sibia went with her mother and some other women to get paper grass from the cliffs above the river. To cross that river there was no bridge. All need to jump from stone to stone and have to shout or make noises to frighten the crocodiles in order to cross that river. So while going to get paper grass and while crossing that river, the women, they were laughing, they were doing arguments. On their way, the women passed a Gujjar encampment where Gujars who were called Junglis lived. They were called Junglis, means creatures of the forest, because they were born and bred in jungle, in the forest only. They got their living from animals, grass and trees. The Gujjar women used to wear trousers which were tight and wrinkled at the ankles, and they also wore large rings made of melted rupees in their ears. The boys and men of the Gujars, they usually stay out with the herd of their animals in order to graze them, and they also used to go to the bazaar to sell the produce of their animals. So the village women, after reaching the cliff, they collected the paper grass and started moving back to their village. But Sibia, she was left alone, left behind. She was actually carrying a heavy load, and it was very difficult for her to move fast, and her muscles, they stretched, they ached because of that load. When she was halfway home, children, she put her big load down, a big boulder, means on a stone, to take some rest. At the same time, a Gujar woman, she came down the river to fill her 2 pots. When she just moved ahead to fill her pitchers, the crocodile lunged at her and closed its jaws on her leg. The Gujar woman, she screamed and slipped on the bone-breaking stone, but luckily she clutched one of the timber logs in that river. Sibia listened to the cries, and immediately, children, she came into action to save that Gujar woman. She just took the hay fork and with all the force she aimed at the crocodile's eye. The crocodile reared up in convulsions, crashed back and disappeared in pain. Sibia then dragged the fainting woman out of water, and she stopped her wounds with sand and bound them with a rag and helped her to reach the Gujjar encampment, where the man made a litter to carry her to someone for treatment. When Sibia, children, went back for her grass, sickle and fork, her fork was in water. While picking her fork, Sibia found a blue bead there. That girl was overjoyed by finding that blue bead. She kept the blue bead safely in the top of her skirt by twisting the cloth against her tummy. When she was about to reach home, Sibia's mother was coming towards the river in order to find her. She was very worried, children, about the safety of her daughter. She was thinking something wrong has happened to her. She got so relaxed after seeing her daughter. On her way back home, we all expect Sibia to describe her encounter with the crocodile to her mother, but that brave girl, she didn't at all mention that how she had saved the life of that Gujar woman. But children, do you know what she told her mother? She, in a very excited manner, told her mother that she had found a blue bead for her necklace, and that blue bead was perforated too. So this is an example of dramatic irony, that instead of telling about the encounter to her mother, Sibia mentioned only the blue bead that she found. So this is all about the story, the blue bead. So children, hope you have understood each detail. I hope you will listen to this story several times. God bless you all. Thank you.